Venus enters Aries on February 1st. All right, we just talked about this. Venus, love, luxury, beauty, relationships, values. It's money, honey, okay? It's who and what you value. Venus would be like what you spend your money on. I have Venus in Pisces. I spend my money on crystals and all things woo, okay? Right? I like to treat myself. I am always in the metaphysical stores. Let's see. Venus is stationing retrograde in Aries at 10 degrees and 50 minutes. That's happening on March 1st, okay? So, hey, T, get this money, and Justina. If you are in Aries, Pisces, Taurus, or Libra, you are feeling the vibes. Why? Because it's going to moonwalk its way back from 10 degrees Aries to 24 degrees Pisces. So if you have anything within those degrees, pay attention, right? Also, any planets or angles, okay? Also, my Venus in Pisces and my Venus in Aries people, hey Brandy, hey Nelly, pay attention because the retrograde is happening in your sign. Let me hold up my sign again, right? It's going to be in Aries and Pisces, okay? So, you guys, stay woke. Well, me too. What's the deal? There can be blocks, stalls, delays, hey Ty, when it comes to love, money, relationships. There can also be do-overs. Maybe you revisit things from the past. I didn't know you had Venus and Pisces. Okay, sorry, I'm not going to read the comments. Venus does not like to be in the sign of Aries if we're going to use, essential dignity. All right, and I don't really think that it's too thrilled to be there, right? Venus is relaxed. It wants to kick back and eat grapes. Mars is the ruler of Aries. It's aggressive, it's assertive, it's passionate, it's impulsive. It's a lot of rah-rah. Libras and Taurus, they are ruled by Venus. They don't like a lot of rah-rah. Happy Saturn return. Yay! It's almost over. Okay. So when Venus gets into Aries, it could be uncomfortable. Now, it also can be very direct and bold and impulsive in love. Venus and Aries can be more about the chase than the actual catch, right? Once they get somebody, they might find that they get bored with them. They don't have the intensity or the excitement to hold their attention. All right. Oh, sorry. I thought you said Saturn return. Your solar return. Happy solar return. Or is it both? Okay. Okay, so Venus is at home in Taurus and Mars is at home in Aries. So those planets would be really powerful because they'd be at home. Like, think about it, how you are when you're at home. You're comfortable. You're in your element, right? So you're vibing, all right? Oh, okay. Happy birthday. Sorry. The people watching this later are going to be like, what the hell? She just kept stopping. Okay, I'm sorry. Happy birthday, Justina. And Stephanie, I'm going to go back to that after this, okay? Now, Venus and Aries, it's a fire sign. So, fast to flame, but quick to fizzle too. Venus and Aries can get over situations very fast, so don't expect them to just sit around crying over the breakup of a relationship or even a friendship. They tend to move on rather fast, and so maybe even you move on faster during this period if you go through a breakup. But also with Venus and Aries, it's like we have to work for the money, right? It's a yang energy. It's like we have to go out and make it happen. Shout out to Donna Summer. She works hard for the money. Okay. On the low vibe, we can see an increase in conflict, arguments, hey Aja, and even violence, romantic or platonic, right? So in relationships, maybe you have a beef with somebody. On the high vibe, we are more comfortable shooting our shot, right? Aries isn't afraid to put themselves out there to take a chance, but we can be more impulsive, especially when it comes to like finances, shopping, hitting that Apple Pay and using that Afterpay. Venus in Aries tends to act and then think about the consequences later. So that same thing goes for your bank account, okay? No, I thought it was her solar return. My bad. Randy. My bad. But today has been weird. I'm sorry. Today has been very strange. Maybe it's the Mars Chiron square or whatever is happening. Okay, my bad. And then the moon conjunct with Chiron. Okay. All right. No, it's okay. It's totally fine. I've been off topic all day. It's probably Mercury in Aquarius making me like, All right. Mars 1st is when Venus stations retrograde. We know a retrograde is when a planet appears to be spinning backward. That's an optical illusion. The energy is just slowing down, right? It is slower movement, so it's a slower expression. So we can experience delays and some stalls and some blocks, especially when it comes to all things Venus. What would that be? Beauty, relationships, money, values, all those things, okay? Venus retrograde happens every 18 months and lasts about 42 days. It's actually tied to Lent. You know, you give something up for Lent and you go without. During this time, Venus disappears from the night sky, travels to the underworld, and then returns as a morning star. Yes, it's a rebirth. This makes a great opportunity to reassess your values, your relationships, your finances, okay? What do you need to give up? Is there something unhealthy that you're holding on to that's a pleasure but really is not doing good? No, I'm not working this. I just like to put it on YouTube. Justina, it's fine. You can still talk because people are used to my ADHD. All right. Now, when Venus is going retrograde in Aries, we might feel a little extra fiery, leading to more conflicts in relationships. We're ready to pop off, maybe even physically. Let's keep it cute. On the flip side, when Venus retrogrades into Pisces, hey Tay, boundaries tend to dissolve, and we get lost in delusions of love. Gang, gang, okay? Don't ignore those red flags. Please don't. Venus in Pisces is a lover girl, lover boy energy. It's the fantasy, the romantic. So when Venus does walk its way back into Pisces, we can be very delusional. Boundaries and independence, that Aries energy, it starts to dissipate and dissolve, and we can lose ourselves in another. Don't do that. Take it from me. Now is the good, I said now. Well, now and leading up to it, right? It's a good time to check in with your boundaries because Saturn is also in Pisces. So maybe you have a habitual line stepper that you need to check when Venus retrogrades into Pisces. Now, what do we not want to do? When Venus is retrograde, it's not a good time for making financial decisions, right? Big purchases, getting married, getting divorced, making a drastic appearance change like plastic surgery, a tattoo, like a dramatic haircut, something like you decide you want to chop all your hair off or whatever, or like go blonde, I don't know, something like that. Hey, Izzy. Not the best time to do that. How about you think about what you want to do? You come up with a vision board. Here are the looks I want to go for or whatever. Don't do anything major because you may regret it later. Now, we are in the pre-shadow. I kind of talked about this earlier. That means that Venus has already passed over the degree that it will eventually retrograde. No, it will eventually station direct at, So that's 24 degrees of Pisces. And that happened on January 28th. Do you really? Well, if you have Venus retrograde in your natal chart, it can actually possibly be a good time for you romantically. But the rest of us, I would say steer clear. Okay, so I'm going to get into the horoscopes. Wait, I'm not. I'm lying. Okay. Mercury retrogrades in the sign of Aries too. Not to sound like a tarot reader on your FYP page, but your ex is coming back because Mercury and Venus are going to be retrograde during the same period and around the same degrees, okay? So, oh, really? Nice. So my Aries people especially, I would say buckle up because the retrograde is in Aries and Venus, also in Venus. The Venus retrograde is in Aries and so is the Mercury retrograde. So that part of your chart, we can expect some past situations. And it doesn't just have to be about exes coming back. It could be something that you revisit in that area of your chart from the past, all right? And it could also be a friend. Sometimes we reconnect with long-lost friends. Again, I don't want it to just be like, your ex is coming back. I mean, I don't know. You probably don't want your ex to come back, right? I don't know. Okay, we're going to start with Aries. Thank you, Justina. And we're going to end with Pisces because Aries is the first. And Brandy, well, make sure you have all these people blocked because I do really feel like this is going to be a time where people are definitely going to be spinning the block on their past relationships. Okay? Oh, yeah. Well, I feel like a square from Venus is This is for rising. Okay, I don't know. Well, I guess it's still Mars is a malefic, but I still feel like a square from Venus is not as bad. You know, just maybe you wanting to do something and then your relationships requiring you to do something else. Your rising sign, that's the sign that was rising when you were born on the Eastern Hemisphere. Do you know your big three, your sun, moon, and rising? So the horoscope is written for your rising sign. That means that when I'm saying perfect, there you go. You don't need my explanation. All right, we're starting with Aries. Aries, Venus retrograde in your sign might have you rethinking everything, Rams. From your dreams and aspirations to the way you dress and wear your hair. Yay. Don't cut your hair just yet. Remember to wait until after Venus is direct. Relationships could be up for review if they're not reciprocal. You talk the talk, but do you truly feel good about yourself? Chiron in Aries could have you dealing with feelings of insecurity and low self-worth. Self-love is always a good practice. Light a pink candle and grab some rose quartz. When Venus retrogrades back into Pisces, it's time to release any old hurt and cut karmic ties with old lovers. A spiritual ritual can help you heal. Aries mantra for Venus retrograde: I am enough. Yes. Taurus, Venus is your ruling planet, aka your shot caller, bulls. So when it's retrograde, you may not feel like your normal cute self. You could be reminiscing over old relationships and find yourself reliving past emotions and pain. Let's end the cycle of hurt. Yes, let's end it. I just lost my place. Block that ex who keeps showing up in your life. Block that ex who keeps showing up in your dreams because they will likely show up in your real life. You may feel called to spend more time alone and really lean into your spiritual gifts and practices. When Venus retrogrades back into Pisces, you could rethink some of your friendships and the groups that you belong to and decide that they aren't a good fit anymore. Taurus mantra for Venus retrograde: I lovingly release connections that no longer serve me. I like that. Gemini, Venus retrograde is asking, what about your friends, twin? Are they holding you down or holding you back? You may take a social media break or watch what you post online because of those monitoring spirits on IG. You know, people always say that, but it's true. An old friend could pop up out of the blue. If your long-term projects don't speak to you anymore, then you could decide to cut your losses and try something new. It's time to pursue dreams that truly align with who you are. When Venus retrogrades back into Pisces, you may really be focused on your public image and career. But if your job is not speaking to your soul, it may be time for a change. Gemini mantra for Venus retrograde: I let go of people and situations that are not in alignment with my personal growth. And so it is. Cancer, Venus could have you reflecting on if your career path still makes you happy, crabbies. Maybe you've gone as far as you can go in your current position or field. It might feel like you deserve more money or recognition on your job, or you might feel that way. It's probably true. It's time to put yourself first if that's the case. You could also discover that you're no longer passionate about your profession. When Venus retrogrades into Pisces, it's time to reconnect with your faith and check in on your life perspective. Have you lost touch with your spirituality? It's a good opportunity to reconnect with your higher source and shift your energy. Cancer mantra for the Venus retrograde: I allow myself to change. I like that. Leo, Venus retrograde can lead you to a spiritual awakening, Lions. Maybe you feel disconnected from your spiritual beliefs. It might be time for a new worldview. It's okay to shift from values that aren't resonating with who you are. That's so true. You may be called to travel during this time, but it's possibly better to plan a trip instead of embarking on an adventure. Maybe you revisit a course of study or even a writing project during the retrograde. When Venus retrogrades back into Pisces, it's time to heal from the past. Let's go. Let go of any fears around intimacy and finances. Reflect on your love and money investments. Leo mantra for Venus retrograde. I open myself up to a new perspective. And so it is. Virgo, Venus wants you to heal, Virgo. Where's Roger? Book that therapy session so you can stop being triggered by an event from the past. No judgment here, but that thing you said you were over, you may not be. Reclaim your power. Don't hide from getting your finances in order. Get clear on your debts and your assets. If the money is not moneying, I know that's right, then maybe it's time to shift your mindset. Prosperity begins with your thoughts. When Venus enters Pisces, your relationships are under the microscope. Is that person really committed to you? An ex could re-enter the picture to test the strength of your current relationship. Don't do it, Virgo. Virgo mantra for Venus retrograde. I am loved the way I deserve. Yes. Libra. Venus retrograde is checking the strength and fairness of your connections, Libra. Are you the one always reaching out to your homegirl or homeboy to hang out? Do you feel like you're carrying the relationship? A partnership is give and take, but what if the other person is always taking? Then it's time for you to set boundaries or peace out. When Venus retrogrades back into Pisces, reflect on your health and daily routines. Hey, Cyan, have you been eating too many sweets or imbibing harder than normal to cope with all the stress in the world? There's a lot of stress. How about exercise or meditation instead of reaching for wine and chocolate? Libra mantra for Venus retrograde. I am worthy of balanced relationships. Yes, you are. Scorpio. Venus retrograde is a good opportunity to revisit your day-to-day schedule and see, hey, APC, and see if it's supportive of your physical and mental health, Scorpio. Are you happy at your 9-to-5 gig? There could be something that pops up with a coworker. Try not to engage in petty beefs. Maybe take a few breaths and think before you respond to any drama. Hey, Ebony, when Venus retrogrades back into Pisces, you might pick up an old hobby. This could be something from your childhood that really makes you happy. Yes. Or maybe you and your kid find a hobby to enjoy together. There could also be an ex that spins the block, but does a reappearance warrant a reconnection? No. Scorpio mantra for Venus retrograde. I carve out time to work, rest, and play. Yes. Sagittarius, Venus retrograde may push you to finally drop the mixtape or at least finish it. You could tap back in with a creative project that you never finished. We all have those. You might find joy in an activity like roller skating or even baking. Make that sourdough. You are looking to do things that feel nostalgic and familiar in these chaotic times. Now, an old flame could show up ready to pick up where you left off. Is this what you want? Or are you just doing it for the plot? You know how Sagittarius is. Think before popping that off again. When Venus retrogrades into Pisces, a long-lost family member may resurface. Is it time to heal and forgive that person, or are boundaries and no contact needed? Mull it over. They sure do, friend. Sagittarius mantra for Venus retrograde. I rekindle my creativity and let my inner child play. Capricorn, Venus retrograde wants you to release the family drama, Cappies. Okay, I needed to hear this. Maybe you have to stand up to that family member that always needs to borrow money, or set clear boundaries with a parent on what you will and won't tolerate anymore. It doesn't have to escalate to a full-blown fight. You can speak your piece in a respectful manner. Yes, let's keep it cute. There can be some changes to your home. You might want to move, or a loved one might be moving out or moving back in. When Venus retrogrades into Pisces, it's time to reflect on how you speak to yourself. I know that's right. Talk to yourself nice, and maybe journal all about the family drama to finally release it. Let it go. Capricorn mantra for Venus retrograde. I embrace healing to create a peaceful home. Not old people are getting on my nerves. We got to respect the elders. We got to be patient with the elders. Aquarius, Venus retrograde is about you taking a break from all the daily errands and busyness of life, Aquas. Maybe you slow things down a bit so you can catch your breath and make some adjustments. Do you rush through your day without really taking time to stop and smell the roses? Or even better, process your thoughts. I know that's right. Some days it just feels like you're running all day. Maybe a sibling or a friend is too enmeshed in your daily life and you need to stop picking up their calls first thing in the morning. Venus retrogrades into Pisces and the focus is your finances. There could be some kind of expense that pops up, or you start to be a little reckless with your coins. Don't overdo it with the unnecessary spending. Yes, watch your money. Aquarius mantra for Venus retrograde. I can feel myself relaxing. Oh my God, I love that. Okay. All right. Pisces, Venus retrogrades through your money house and you're checking your bank balance. Maybe you've been treating yourself a little too much. You might also be reassessing what matters to you. During the retrograde, you could get rid of material items that are just taking up space. That juicer that you said you would use, it's just taking up space. You're not juicing, okay? I'm sorry not to call you out. Or maybe take it out and start using it. When Venus retrogrades into your sign, you might want a new look and a new attitude. Before you book a cut and color or a beauty treatment, pump your brakes. Wait till Venus is direct to make any changes to your appearance, but reflect on who you are and how you show up in the world. Pisces mantra for Venus retrograde. I am grateful for all that I have and all the blessings on the way. Okay, I did it. Yay!